Today we're going to start the Cyborg project. I want to talk to you a little bit about the cyborgs before we start the project. You have a lot of options as far as what type of cyborg you want to be. Now this is a self-portrait, so you will be taking a photo of yourself and you'll be using the computer in class to do that. And then you need to pick a robot or android face to merge with your own face. So I pulled up Artsonia from last year, and the Terminator is a really popular cyborg to do. So you'll see a lot of Terminators in here, but there are other styles that you can do. Some people find the Terminator just a little bit too creepy, and they'll choose a different style of robot. So here's one right here that's a little bit different. This is another one that's a little bit different. And I'm also going to provide you some images that you could use, although you could do a search and find your own images to use. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about distortion. I want you to compare these two images. So we have Bria here and Kai, and notice that one of them looks stretched. If you ask me, this one right here looks like the image got stretched, where this one looks like it's more in proportion, and it looks more similar to this one, which I think is in proportion. So you want to think about this as you're doing your project. Now here are the cyborgs that I have available to you through my Connect. All right, and depending on which one you choose, you will be distorting one image or the other. So for example, if I choose to do a Terminator is inside of me. It's my skeleton. It's an endoskeleton, so it's inside my living tissue. In that case, I am going to be the subject. I'm the one showing, so I don't want to distort me, but it would be okay to distort the Terminator to fit my face because that's going inside me. This image right here, I'll go ahead and make it a little bit bigger for you. This image is more like, you can think of it as an exoskeleton. It's outside of me. And the living tissue, which you can see some right here, that's possible, that could be possible living tissue, or the eyes could be possible living tissue, that's on the inside. So in this case, you do not want to distort this robot image. You would want to distort your self-portrait to fit inside the robot image. Now there are some other ones. This one in particular, I want to show you a couple students who did this one. This one's a little bit trickier because the question here is it an endoskeleton? Like, is this thing inside of you, or is it outside of you and your face is inside? So it's kind of more half and half. So it's hard to tell which one's the actual subject here. It's kind of like they're both the subject. So this one is a really challenging one to do. First of all, the angle is really hard to get. So it's hard to get yourself in that angle. And secondly, you really don't want to distort your face or the robot. You want them both to look in proportion. So let me show you a couple of student examples on this. Okay, so here's the first one. And I think she did a pretty good job. They both look in proportion. She's got her face lined up really well, and so I think this one is successful. Here's another one where the subject, the girl's face, is just distorted way too much. And that might be because her angle wasn't exactly just right, or maybe just the proportion of her didn't match the proportion of the robot, and so it might not have been a good choice for her. So you have to be careful with that. Okay, so I have done two of these in the past. I've done both the Terminator and I have done this image right here. So this one I have blended with this picture. Okay, and I have also done a Terminator of myself, which I blended with this picture. Now notice that I'm looking straight on. The Terminator, this particular image, or any Terminator or any image that's looking straight on, is going to be the easiest because you just take a picture of yourself looking straight on, holding your head up nice and straight, and you're probably going to have some pretty good success with that. So in this case, I did not distort my face at all. I did not want my face distorted. I distorted the Terminator to fit inside my face. And I'll show you the result of that. Okay, so here is my Terminator cyborg that I created. And as you can see, my face is not distorted at all. And the Terminator is distorted to fit my face, but it's not distracting or obvious because it's inside of me and I'm the subject. It's the outside of me that is showing, and mostly I am showing. Okay, and for the other example, I used these two images, and since mostly this robot is what's going to be the subject and most of what's showing, I distorted my own face and not this image, and I'll show you the result of that. Okay, and there's the result of that. So in this case, the outside of the robot is what's showing. I am inside and I am showing much less. Now, if you decide to choose an image like the one we looked at previously, where it's kind of half and half, we'll look at that again. This image right here. Then you have to be really careful and make sure that you're not distorting either one of them, that you take a really good picture at the correct angle and that you can increase or decrease the size, but don't change the proportion of either image. And if you need help with that, let me know. I'll come by and help you as much as I can. And if it turns out that that image just is not going to work with your face, then we will choose another image for you. That one's just not going to work out. Today I'm going to be working with this image, so I'm going to do another one. And this one, I feel like the robot is the main subject, so I don't want to distort that. So I'll be distorting my own face to fit with this robot, and I'm going to show you right now how to take a picture for that. So I'm going to minimize all of these other screens and get them out of the way, and I'm just going to have this one up. And what you can do is, if you don't see Photo Booth on your dock, you can go up to the magnifying glass in the upper right hand corner of your computer and type in Photo Booth. And the program will come up and you can see me here, so there I am. So I'm going to take my picture. I need to get myself situated just like this, so I'm going to be turned this way and I want to get my head just right, and this is not really easy to do. So you can get a friend to help you. You can call me and I can come help you too. So whatever we need to do to get this image just right. Now there's a couple things here with this image. So down here, if I want to have this part revealed, that's kind of black and white. So, I mean, it's gray. So I would want to change me to, would want to take a black and white image, but her eyes are in color. So if you're going to have your eyes showing, then you may want to keep the color. You can also go back and add color yourself. So you can make your eyes whatever color you want. So I'm going to suggest that you just stick with a color image, because you can change it to black and white, or you can add color later. That's not hard to do. If you are on something weird, go ahead and click on Effects, and here's your normal image. Okay, and you'll notice that there's a lot of fun things in Photo Booth here. You've got Space Alien, Nose Twirl, Chickmunk, all these fun things. But remember, you are in Photo Booth to take a picture so you can progress on your project right now. So you are not allowed to play in Photo Booth. So please don't do that. I don't want you to get in trouble for that. So make sure that you are just getting in, taking your picture, and getting out. Later on in the trimester, we may have a day where we celebrate at the end. And at that time, if you'd like to play in Photo Booth, because it is really fun, then I'll let you do that. Okay, if you do decide you just really want a black and white picture, click on these little dots down here and you'll be able to find black and white. There's black and white right there. Okay, but for now we're just going to stay on normal. Okay, and I am going to actually turn a light on because I have backlighting back here, as you can see. So I'm going to turn a light on so that I can, so we can actually see my face. If you need any kind of lighting like that in the classroom, let me know. Although I think that the classroom lighting is okay, that you won't need to do that. So I'm going to push my mic out of the way for a second, get myself lined up the best that I can, and then take this picture and then see where we can go from there. By the way, I don't know if you guys can hear me. My mic's kind of far away, so I'll talk loud. But by the way, the camera, I'm looking at the camera right now, and it's at the top of my screen, and there's a little green light right now. That means that we're ready to take a picture. So I think it's going to be very similar in the classroom. So if you want to look straight at the camera, you have to look up at that little camera. Don't touch it because you'll get your fingerprint on it. And in fact, if you think your screen's dirty before you take your picture, you can come get a screen wipe and clean that off. Okay, so here we go. When I'm ready, I'm going to push this little white camera with the red circle around it. Okay, I feel like I'm looking a little bit too up there. Yeah, I should be looking more straight because I thought I would look. And this is a tough one, I'll tell you. Like, her jaw is like to the side, but I don't want this eye hidden. So I do need to turn slightly. So I'm going to try that again. I'm going to move my light to the other side. That one eye is just too dark. That's going to be better, I think. Okay. This is hard. Okay, so I have that one. This one is definitely a better angle. I'm not sure if that's going to work, but I think I can get that to work for my eyes. I'm not sure about the chin. So I think I'm going to use that one. So what I want to do is I want to take the image that I want to use and I'm going to drag it into Photoshop just like that. Okay, and there we have. Okay, so now I'm going to File, Save As, and I'm going to go to my desktop, go into my file, go into my Exploring Tech class, and I want to save this image into my Cyborg folder. Okay, that is going to be it for today. You got a lot of information. You have a lot of work to do your next day on the computer because you need to decide on which robot image you're going to use, and you need to take your photo and get that saved into your folder.